Hello, everyone, and welcome to Pucks and Brews, episode number 69. Very nice. I am your host, Michael Shades Faracino, alongside, as always, Liam the Chell Master Godimer. I didn't expect myself to laugh that much, but here we are. Liam, what's going on, man?
This will be one nice episode, Shades, and
Or
it's
very
nice,
nice.
very nice indeed. Episode 69 of Pucks and Brews. It's nice to be back with you. Always great to talk some puck. It's been a while. There's been a lot of crazy events that have transpired in the National Hockey League since the last time we spoke. So I'm excited to get right into it and break it all down with you, my friend.
But to start off this very nice episode, you know damn well I got my medium Dunkin' cold brew. Not sponsored.
Nothing for me today. I got a water over there, but you know what? I'll tell you, the fridge is really far away. You ever just look at the fridge and you're just like, it's far. Just don't know.
No, but that's me with the remote. I'm just like,
Yeah,
damn
yeah,
it, I gotta move.
yeah, yeah.
Just sitting there all comfortable watching your show. Then you realize you want to put it up like two notches because it's just slightly too low. You look
Yeah.
over and you just go, damn.
How about when it's slightly, how about when you leave your TV on in the middle of the night and it's slightly too loud? And then just like a documentary about like horses like comes on, you're like, I can't watch this. I need to turn it off. And you can't find your remote. There you go. Quite an intro for episode 69 of Pucks and Brews.
Yeah, horses. Okay.
But you got a cold brew.
I do. I do. Actually, hold on. Since we're on this subject, I was just like sitting in the house the other night and I'm just on my phone looking at something and then all of a sudden I'm just like, holy crap, the TV's loud. And I just put it down. I'm just like, how did I not notice that sooner?
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, yeah. A lot of crazy stuff happened, but like you said,
A lot of crazy stuff happening for sure. Not just in the National Hockey League, but the world. But yeah, how's things going by you? How's things going in the life of Shades?
pretty good. I went for a freezing cold run 2 out of the last 3 days. So running in this cold weather sucks.
What'd you say?
But running in this cold weather sucks.
Yeah, this cold weather is not fun. And you know what? I'll tell you, Shades, I know you live in New York, and you know what? As a New Yorker, you got to wake up every day and approach the winter and expect that it's going to be cold. I moved to Atlanta, Georgia, not for this, not for 30-degree days, not for ice on my windshield for the last 3 weeks. Every single day, icy windshield hasn't been fun. And I love ice more than anybody. You too,
I
big
like to
hockey
ice
fan.
skate. Yeah.
Yeah, I
I
skate and
mean,
watch other guys. I skate.
it's been a while, but yeah, I got to get back on. I need to
Georgia,
buy another.
it's just been far too cold of a winter for Georgia. That's my point.
Yeah. Yeah. You know it's bad when I'm running in sweatshirts, excuse me, hoodies, sweatpants, and gloves. That's how
And
you
then you
know
get
it's cold.
and then you get back inside and you're just hot,
Yeah,
right?
you get back inside and you're just like, oh, jeez, get this shit off me. Like literally, that happened earlier. I couldn't. I was like taking my shoes off. I untied the first shoe, and I was just like, nope. Hoodie comes off. Took the shoe off. Untied the other one. Took it off. So yeah, but I have a half marathon to train for. So yeah,
Keep us posted. This is
it's
your second marathon, third?
it's gonna be the third, second legitimate half marathon. So yeah, I'll have an update on that hopefully in a couple weeks. Something might have happened, which I hope I don't get screwed over, but we'll see. So, fingers crossed. But with that, let's dive right into this. So, couple signings around the NHL. First and foremost, John Klingberg signed a 1 year deal. I believe this was last week with the Edmonton Oilers. Uh, so he comes in mid-season, and I love how I don't have this open. Meanwhile, I literally did have it open, but that's just my life for you in a nutshell. So he signs a just over $1.75 million contract for the rest of the season. How old is Klingberg now? He's only 32. Wow. And this guy fell out of grace. What is it, 3 years ago now? Basically, since he got dealt from Dallas, or they let him walk.
I have a tweet from Sportsnet that says, and I quote, John Klingberg, who is scheduled to play tonight for Edmonton, just told me that he had double hip surgery at
Ooh.
age 21 and then again excuse me, first at age 18, then again at age 21. He has never played pain-free in the NHL until now. And after his latest surgery, he says he feels like a kid again. 32 years old, and he feels like a kid again. And you know what? For Edmonton, why not take a flyer on the guy, right?
Yeah. I mean, hey, if you can put him on the power play and he could work magic with McDavid, it's worth signing in itself, you know?
Yeah. Klingberg was in his heyday with Dallas, was a top 10 defenseman in the league. So, sometimes injuries can do that to players, and it's good to see him feeling pain-free again. And we'll see if his best hockey is yet to come with the Oilers.
Yeah, still only 32. Why? I never knew he actually had double hip surgery twice.
Crazy.
Yeah, what? How did that never come up in how long has it been since I've been watching hockey? 14 years now? All right,
I
well,
guess I guess injuries just, like just stay rampant. I mean, that again, like his last double hip surgery was 11 years ago. He's 32, right? So, just crazy.
yeah, but going back, fifth round pick back in 2010. And like you said, he was at one point viewed as a top 10-ish defenseman. I don't know if I'd go that far, but he was certainly top 20 at one point. And then, I don't know, things just kind of fell apart near the end of his tenure in Dallas, and I don't know, teams just seem like they don't want to touch him lately.
Yeah, I mean, you look at that age, right? 32. Not a lot of interest, I think, from teams, with that. Of course, this is the NHL where speed and skill is prominent, and not to say that Klingberg is not a skilled defenseman, but speed, of course, wears down as you age. But, he was again in his best season, he put up 8 goals, 59 assists, 67 points with the Stars in the 2017-18 season. And, he was never a big goal scorer, but he was always a great facilitator of the puck and good two-way defender as well. So if he can refine his game with the Oilers, that's a win-win for the player and the team. And Edmonton needs a spark if they want to get back to the Cup final. So,
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And you can never go wrong with too many right shot defensemen, am I right?
no, you're absolutely right.
And it's also interesting that Klingberg was on the Stars from 2014-15 to 21-22, and he is now on his fifth team since the end of 21-22. Wow. So
And
he's
again,
bounced around a little bit.
it's not point production for me. It's just games played. It's
Yeah.
just staying healthy. That's what this screams to me. Again, he only played 17 games in the 22-23 season with Minnesota, put up 9 points. Like he had 33 points that year and in 67 games. Okay, so that's half a point per game. But again, with Toronto, 5 assists in 14 games. But again, you can't really take a lot of stock, when he's just not playing games. So for me, I don't think it's really about the points. I don't really think it's about the numbers that he puts up. For me, I just think he needs consistent playing time. And he needs to be put in a role to where he's sheltered and injury risk is low.
Yeah, and I'm taking a look at his playoff stats right now. He's made the playoffs five times in his career, four of them being with Dallas, the other one being when he was with Minnesota in 22-23. 2018-19, he had 9 points in 13 games, two of them being goals. 2019-20, he put up 21 points in 26 games, which for a defenseman, that's excellent. In 21-22, put up one assist in a seven-game series. Can't remember who they lost to off the top of my head, but when he was with the Wild 2 seasons ago, he had one goal and 4 points in four games. So, hey, it's worth bringing in.
It is. I'd
So,
say no shame in taking a fire on him. So
no, no. Speaking of Flyers, this was probably the most random signing of the season. New York Islanders signed Tony DeAngelo, who was playing in Russia, I believe, for SKA St. Petersburg.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah. So I when this piece of news broke, me and Brendan are just like, how funny is it that he's playing, that he not only is he back, but he's playing for a New York team.
Yeah, he's made the tri-state trifecta. Rangers, Islanders, and was he a Devil?
I
No, he
don't
wasn't.
believe so.
He was not a Devil, really?
I don't believe so.
Yeah.
No, because he went from us, well, excuse
He
me,
went everywhere else in the Metro. He went to Carolina,
from
Philadelphia.
yeah,
Yeah.
because he went from us to Carolina. We got him from Arizona at the time. Rip. Uh, Now he's going to be with the Islanders. He was with the Flyers for a hot minute.
He'll probably be with the Devils before his career is over. Or who knows? Maybe the Islanders will be his last stop. But Islanders are playing great hockey right now. He has an assist in 2 games. He played well, in Russia in the KHL with SKA St. Petersburg. It's never been a issue about his skill. That's never been the problem with Tony DeAngelo. It's always been
Well, I mean, he has been a little inconsistent, but yeah, that hasn't been the main problem.
consistent on the defensive side. But again, like as a point producer, I mean, 11 points in 31 games, to be fair, in his last NHL stint with the Carolina Hurricanes. So there's not a lot there. But again, when he played like I said, with Klingberg in his heyday with the Rangers, 53 points in 68 games, he was almost a point per game player on the back end. So
That was
again,
a very good year for him.
there's a lot of raw offensive skill with Tony DeAngelo. The problems are how he plays on the defensive side of the puck and how he interacts with his teammates. And for the Islanders, I just don't know. Lou Lamoriello seems like the GM, the type of GM that doesn't put up with that type of BS. And to see them sign Tony DeAngelo is a little bit perplexing. But I will say this, he can add a jolt to a team that needs one. And I think that's exactly what's happened with the Islanders. And they're playing great hockey. So I can't blame Lou Lamoriello when the team is responding to the acquisition of this player.
Yeah, I believe they've won 5 in a row currently.
Yeah.
So yeah, another yet another team in the Metro that's kind of in a weird area, but that's another discussion for another day. But to stay on signings real quick, Logan Thompson re-upped in Washington, 6 years, 35.1 million. Cap hit 5,850,000 per year. I mean, this was a guy that basically, cut his teeth with, I believe, Vegas. If Because I know he was just on Vegas, spent 5 seasons there, even though one of them, excuse me, 4 seasons there, even though one of them was only a one game appearance back in 2020, 2021. But I mean, hey, guy worked himself up into a starting goaltender role, gets traded to the Capitals because, I mean, he gets injured during the playoffs the year Vegas wins the cup. Aiden Hill becomes the hero. You kind of become second fiddle after that to no fault of his own, but that's what happened.
Yeah, I mean, Logan Thompson, what a year, right? 27 years old, gets traded away from the Vegas Golden Knights. And again, it's hard to turn away from a goaltender that helped to win you a Stanley Cup, right? So I think that's what Vegas's upper management was thinking when they ended up moving Logan Thompson to the Washington Capitals. But in doing so, you gave a relatively young goaltender early in his NHL and pro career, a chance to really shine and become a number one alongside Charlie Lindgren, who's done a nice job for the Capitals as well. But look at these numbers here this season: 2.05 goals against average and nearly a 930 save percentage. Get out of here. That's unbelievable. That's just
927 to be exact.
yeah, nearly 930. That's unbelievable. That's Igor Shesterkin type numbers. And again, you look at Logan Thompson, where he was before he made it to the show, played with the Adirondack Thunder and the South Carolina Stingrays in the ECHL. So it just goes to show you that ECHL alumni can make an impact. And he's not only making an impact, he's the number one goaltender on one of the top teams in the Eastern Conference, which is something I wasn't expecting to say at the start of the season. And as far as the Vegas Golden Knights, it's their loss, really. I mean, they decided to put all their chips in with Aiden Hill, and I don't blame them. You win a Stanley Cup with the guy, you want to keep him around. But in doing so, a young goaltender that's pushing his way up the ranks is not going to want to stay behind as a backup. You're forced to move Logan Thompson, and he may just go and win a Vezina. So wow, it's just crazy how the game of hockey goes sometimes. But I'm really happy for him. Hard work
Uh,
paying.
yeah, absolutely. And one thing that I'm kind of surprised by, This must have just been really bad timing, but he only has four playoff starts back in 23-24, where he had a 921 save percentage in four games. So, not too bad.
Yeah, not too bad at all. So, interested to see how Washington does in the postseason because, again, they've
Hmm.
got excellent goaltending. They've got a superstar forward who we'll talk about later in the episode, and they've got a head coach. He's creeping his way into the top five of head coaches in the NHL right now, and Spencer Carberry. So, just what a story. If you're a Capitals fan, you have to be elated. So, good for you.
Yeah, must be nice. But yeah, we'll get back to that. And last but not least, we do have to touch on this because it does involve our love again, hate again relationship with the our beloved New York Rangers. But Will Borgen re-ups for 5 years.
Yeah, he had a tough giveaway there. At the end of that Avs game. Panarin didn't get back on the back check. I think that's the bigger problem, but we'll get to that. But I think Borgen's been good. I think that's one of those trades, and I love these trades. I love transactions that you can look at a few weeks afterwards, maybe 1 month, 2 months afterwards, and say, you know what? That really worked out for both teams. And Seattle got a winger to play alongside Matty Beniers, and they have unbelievable chemistry. If you haven't watched Kraken, Beniers and Kako. It's crazy. And now the Rangers have a defenseman in Borgen who has taken over Jacob Trouba's role. Maybe not the physical side, but again, eating a lot of those big minutes and is making half the amount of money that Trouba was making. So for me, I call that a win. What do you think?
Yes, well, I mean, I like the early returns of the trade so far. Yeah, 5 years, $4.1 million cap hit, just to be specific.
Yeah.
And me and my friend Dan were thinking along the same lines after this extension came out. I was thinking it, but he was the one that said it first. The only reason I didn't say it first is because I didn't want to get yelled at. But he goes, I hope he doesn't turn into Smith. And I'm just like, I'm so glad I'm not the only one that was thinking that. Because the last time that I can vividly recall the Rangers acquiring a defenseman mid-season and giving him an extension was Brendan Smith, even though that was 4 years at a slightly different cap hit. May have been 3.5 for all I remember, but that's besides the point. And what happened? He looked terrible for the first 3 years, kind of got it back on track the last year, but by then, too little, too late.
For me, I think this is a contract that I'm willing to take the risk. And again, like I understand 4.1 million to some people can seem like a lot of money per year, but the cap is really going up. And you're going to see that AAV kind of look like a $2.1 million deal or a $3.1 million deal based on where the cap is, just in terms of where we are right now. So I think it's going to look like a bargain. Of course, Borgen's play could fall off, but hey, when you earn the deal, when you come over to a tough place to play in really a difficult situation with the Rangers, and you have to play top 4 minutes where their captain just got traded away, who was playing on the back end, you got to play alongside Keandre Miller, who was playing some of the worst hockey in his career and he's been able to stabilize not only his game, but Keandre's as well. I think that's a well-earned extension. We'll see how it works out for the Rangers, but you can't say Borgen didn't earn it.
Yeah, the only thing that's scaring me about this deal is one, he's been here for 19 games, and two, going into this season, he's only played two full seasons, this being his third, and he's 28. So that kind of, I, I don't want to say red flags flying because that's not the right term. I'm just cautiously optimistic.
Yeah, I think everybody has a different journey, right? I mean, again, working in the ECHL, I've been able to cover players and, just look into their backgrounds and I'll look a little bit further than the stat sheet. And again, look at Will Borgen, look at where he started, right? St. Cloud State, that's one hell of a hockey program. And you know what? He put up points on the back end. Played with the Rochester Americans 2 years in the AHL. That's normal. Made it to the NHL with Buffalo, played 4 games, went back to Rochester for 61. And then he's never gone back to the American Hockey League. So for me, I look at his hockey DB, I look at his elite prospects, and I say, it's a pretty good journey, to be honest. He spent 2 stints in the AHL. He was never sent back down again as a defenseman, no matter where he was. And of course, maybe he wasn't on winning teams with Buffalo and Seattle, but no matter where he was, he stuck in the lineup. He stood in the lineup and he was able to, to remain as a key force in the back end. So the one playoff appearance he had, 3 points in 14 games, with Seattle, 2022-23 season. So for me, I'm happy with it. 28 years old.
That
Get
was the
everybody.
year that they beat Colorado first round, right?
I'll have to look back. I'm not sure.
I believe so.
Oregon was a part of that though.
Yeah, he was. And it's funny you bring that up that he never went back to the AHL. That he was last in the AHL, like you said, 2019, 2020.
Yeah.
And then the next 2 years between his only year on the Sabres and his first year in Seattle, he played a combined 46 games. So I don't remember if he got injured or not, but I don't know. That's just a little odd.
Yeah, I would imagine that it was an injury, or maybe, he wasn't getting. I would look at the next 2 seasons where he played all 82 games, and
Mm.
then this year, he's on pace to get close to the same. But again, former fourth round pick, a Sabre pick, so every Buffalo Sabres prospect goes out to blossom elsewhere. So,
Yeah.
we could get the benefit of that. So,
Yeah. Hey, how you doing, Ryan O'Reilly?
yeah, yeah, man.
I feel like the only one who didn't go out to blossom was Rasmus Ristolainen.
Ristolainen, and again, top 60, a guy who's stuck in the NHL, right? Casey Middlestat too with Colorado is kind of stagnated as well.
Hmm.
Uh, but
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
yeah, I
that's
like it.
yeah, no, good so far and definitely worthy of an extension. The Avalanche thing, that's a conversation for another episode.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know damn well that's a great conversation for another episode. But speaking of that, this is a horrible transition, but the Utah Hockey Club, we have heard about the finalists for the names of the team. And of course, in true NHL fashion, one of them is the Utah Hockey Club. Because of course.
I want to take the European style, soccer style.
I mean, hey, look, I'll be honest, it was better than one of the names that was being floated out there, so I
Yeah.
do have to say that.
I've kind of gotten used to the Utah Hockey Club, but for me, I mean, here, divulge the names. Then I'll let everybody know my opinion.
So one of the finalists that have since been pulled due to, I believe, trademark issues, Yeti. The Utah Yeti. We were so close.
So unfortunate.
Extremely unfortunate. What's the whatever the guy's name, his in-show character's name from Everybody Hates Chris? Tragic. Tragic.
Yeah.
Other than that, I believe we had the Wasatch, which no thanks. What's your opinion on that one?
Sach just got ripped apart.
Yeah,
So, so much for the corruption.
that
Yeah.
was being floated out there, but that has since been replaced with the Utah Outlaws, which has become my new personal favorite out of the names that are left.
Cowboy.
So, hey, it sounds better than the,
How about a mammoth? How about a
and that
big
is the third
mammoth?
and final remaining finalist. The Utah, you and I mean, hey, look, we don't agree on this one. I'm more of an
I,
Utah Outlaw guy, but
I would name him the mammoth. I would name them.
okay, to me, it's Outlaws number one.
But I would have named him Yeti. I just would have
Oh,
taken the long
absolutely.
and just named him Yeti.
Absolutely. That was
Probably the water bottle company. You think that's the company that's kind of got the trademark or whatever? Yeti water bottles. You ever heard of those?
may
Very
actually, yeah, I have actually. But every time I hear Yeti, I always confuse it with the brand Blue that makes the Yeti microphones,
Yep, yep,
which is
yep.
what I'm using right now.
A Yeti water bottle, $40.
Shout out to Blue Yeti microphones. Again, not sponsored, but this thing is awesome and it's portable.
Gotta love it.
Okay, let's just make a prediction here since we're on the subject. You have Mammoth. Am I right?
I think it's gonna be the mammoth. Yes.
I hope they go with Outlaws. But If they stay Utah Hockey Club, I'm not gonna love it, but I'm not gonna hate it. It's better than the Utah Wasatch.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Anything's better than the Wasatch.
it, I was gonna make a wasabi joke, but it would have been fucking terrible. But yeah, yeah. So
Glad
Alex
you.
Ovechkin, I mean, holy shit, man. He's closing in on Gretzky, and this is actually gonna happen. Fingers
It is.
crossed. Fingers crossed.
I was saying since the start of the season that it was going to be very close. And look, it is going to be very close. But it looks like Ovechkin is on pace. What is he at? 875 goals now in NHL?
He is at, if this fucking thing would load faster.
875 goals.
Thank
So
you.
he's 20 goals away.
Oh, yes, thank you for not giving me the total number of goals he has, Puckpedia. Thank you. Okay.
Holy crap, look at these accolades. Oh my gosh.
You know what? Read them out.
Are you
Why not?
serious? All right. Under 18 World Junior Championships All-Star Team, under 18 World Junior Championship S plus minus plus 14. This was the 2001-2002 season. Under 18 World Junior Championship most goals, 14. Under 18 World Junior Championship most points, 18. Uh, Under 18 World Junior Championship silver medal, same year. 2002, 2003, under 18 World Junior Championship most points with 12. Under 18 JWC most valuable player, excuse me. Under 18, now World Junior Championship All-Star forward, under 18 World Junior Championship best forward, under 18 World Junior Championship best plus minus plus 13, under 18 World Junior Championship bronze medal, under 18 World Junior Championship most goals, under 20 World Junior Championship gold medal, under 20 World Junior Championship most goals. I don't think you know what you're signing yourself up for, but okay.
Oh,
Uh,
gee. We're at 14. We're not even at his NHL career yet.
RSL champion 2004 2005, under 20 World Junior Championship All Star Team, under 20 World Junior Championship Best Forward, under 20 World Junior Championship Most Goals with 7, under 20 World Junior Championship Silver Medal, World Championship Bronze Medal, World Championship Most Points by an under 20 Junior with 8, 2005 2006 NHL All Rookie Team, NHL First All Star Team, NHL Most Goals by a Rookie with 52, NHL Most Points by a Rookie, excuse me, with 106, NHL Rookie of the Month in December, NHL Rookie of the Month in January, NHL Rookie of the Month Calder Trophy, NHL Rookie of the Year Calder Trophy, NHL Rookie of the Year Calder Trophy finalist, Olympic All-Star Team Russian Player of the Year, World Championship All-Star Team, 2006-2007 NHL All-Star Team, NHL First All-Star Team, Russian Player of the Year, World Championship Bronze Medal, 2007-2008 NHL All-Star Team, NHL First All-Star Team, NHL Most Game-Winning Goals with 11, NHL Most Goals, the Maurice Richard Trophy with 65, NHL Most Points, the Art Ross Trophy with 110, NHL Most Valuable Player, the Hart Trophy finalist, NHL MVP selected by the NHLPA, Ted Lindsay Award, Russian Player of the Year Award, World Championship All-Star Team, World Championship Gold Medal, World Championship Top 3 Player on Team. 2008-2009 NHL All-Star Team, NHL First All-Star Team, NHL Most Goals with 56, NHL Most Valuable Player, NHL Most Valuable Player finalist, NHL Most Valuable Player selected by the NHLPA, Ted Lindsay Award, Russian Player of the Year 2009-2010 NHL First All-Star Team, NHL Most Valuable Player, NHL MVP selected by the NHLPA, Russian Player of the Year again, World Championship silver medal. Am I done?
Oh,
Are you
you're
still
right.
counting?
I was not expecting that
Okay. All right, we're done here. Okay.
because I thought you
Because
were
we
just
have
gonna,
10 more years to go through if you want.
I thought it was all in a condensed list, like 6 time, blah, 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 7 time, 8. And I'm
Oh
just
no.
like, oh no.
This is one monster list.
All right. That was one hell of a fucking, as you can tell, I stopped fucking counting because I'm just like, this is too much just to keep track of just by counting.
I'll give you a little trivia here, Shades on the spot.
Oh boy.
What year was Alexander Ovechkin the captain of the NHL All-Star Game?
Oh, that's a good one. I'm gonna go captain of the All-Star game.
Had a good year this year.
Captain of the All-Star game. Tw 2011, 2012?
2017-18.
Damn.
2011, 12, 38 goals that year, 49 goals, 2017, 18. But yes, Alexander Ovechkin, good hockey player.
Very much so.
Guy's got a
Uh,
shot.
and yeah, and he also has the playoff stats to back it up too, which you love to see.
You remember, Shades, when we were talking on this podcast a few months back, when you asked me the question, do you legitimately think that Alexander Ovechkin is falling off? Can you believe that we talked about that? And I said in the moment, I said, you just don't lose it, Shades. I said, you fucking got it. You're not going to lose it. Pardon my French, but Alexander Ovechkin proving all the naysayers wrong. 22 goals in 34 games. What say you?
I feel like or excuse me, not we in particular, but the hockey world in general has been having that conversation since 2020, 2021, when that was the second of the two COVID shortened seasons where he put up 24 goals, albeit in 45 games, but then kind of,
It's on
puts the
pace for
naysayers to
45
bed the
goals.
following season, 50 goals in 77 games. Year after that, 42 goals in 73 games. That's when people started to be like, is he done with his 50 goal seasons? Last season, 31 goals in 79 games, and people are just like, oh, like people are worried that he's having like a Corey Perry type drop off, and then he just started the season on fire and put that whole discussion right back to bed.
Let me ask you a question here. Would you blame Ovechkin if he broke the record? Let's say he gets to 900 goals and hung him up. Would you blame him? I would.
I wouldn't blame him.
I don't know. I just feel like that's a milestone where what else do you have to prove? I don't know kind of where Ovechkin's mindset is, and I know how much he means to the DC community and to the Capitals, but why not go back to Russia, and again, just about his twilight years in the KHL. And again, if you reach 900 goals and you surpass Gretzky with 895, what else is there to prove in this league? You've already won a Stanley Cup. Maybe the Capitals are competitive now, so that changes the equation a little bit. But for me, what a way to go out, huh?
I would think that his mindset is he wants a second cup. Not only that to, not only prove that, oh, it was a one-trick pony, so to speak, but because let's be honest, those Capitals teams, they deserve to make more than one conference final over the course of his career, but they didn't.
But you know what? As we know more than any other NHL fan base as Ranger fans, sometimes it's just not in the cards. And for Ovechkin, it was in the cards. And luckily, it was in his prime, 2017, 18. That was his year, So I don't know. It's just an interesting thing that we can keep an eye on. But for me, not only do I hope he breaks Gretzky's record this year, but I hope that he reaches 900 goals. He's 25 goals away. 25 goals, game 35 coming up for him next week.
We haven't even mentioned it this episode, but this guy was literally out with a broken fucking leg for like a month and a half, and he
Still got
comes back and is on fucking fire. He's got 22 goals in 34 games played this season.
34 goals and 34 points in 34 games. He's back to being a point per game guy.
He's still got it. And I mean, I don't think any of this is possible without the moves that Washington has made over the last 2 years to put themselves in the position they're currently in. I mean, that's some great GMing.
Got to give them credit. I mean, they were in a spot like Pittsburgh, right, where they had a decision to make, and it's interesting because you see one team go one direction and you see another team go another direction. Exactly. Pittsburgh decided to extend all of their guys and kind of double down on who they had on that roster. And of course, we'll get to the Penguins and some roster moves that they had going on in the last few weeks. But Washington really decided, okay, let's take a year off here. Let's get some reclamation projects in. Let's get Pierre-Luc Dubois, who was formerly a number one center, who the whole league is down on. What a year he's had. Let's bring in Spencer Carberry, who, we don't really know a lot about him, but you know what? We've had him in our organization for a while. He coached the South Carolina Stingrays, our ECHL affiliate. Let's bring him in. So Carberry comes in, and again, he's one of the top coaches in the NHL right now. Charlie Lindgren, a guy that really didn't have a place to go. Now he is a 1B to Logan Thompson's 1A. We talked about that trade that they made with the Vegas Golden Knights. Unbelievable. And with losing their number one guy with Nicholas Backstrom and TJ Oshie, remember, for the year, he's not playing. Alexander Ovechkin breaks his leg, like you said. Would you think that the Washington Capitals would be anywhere close to a playoff spot? I wouldn't. So that's just a testament to the GMing, like you said, the head coach, and everybody that they have over there. And even though they're a division rival, that's just a really fun story. And I hope they have a lot of success.
Yep.
But the
I,
Rangers take a tight first round series.
hmm. Yeah, no, we'll see. But hey, 25 away. Hope he does it.
Got a long way to go for talking about the playoffs and the Rangers.
Hey, if he does get 25 more by the end of the season, that's going to put him at 47. If he
Hmm?
still gets 50 goals missing a month and a half, I mean,
You got to go. You got to go out on top.
oh
Come
yeah.
on, go out on top.
And
Fifth
also the
900 goal record all time.
second thing that I still think,
Yeah.
besides him wanting to get another cup, I think he sees Matthews as a legitimate threat to come close to the record and is like, okay, yeah, I need to play as long as possible and beat Gretzky's record as much as I can because this kid's scaring me.
Matthews has a long way to go. Good start, but he has a long way to go too. So, health is a big part of that. And again, Ovechkin has been able to stay healthy. And even when he hasn't, he's responded like he has this season.
Yep. Well, I mean, even though, like we said, we are division rivals, we do hope he breaks the record because, I mean, that I've been rooting for this basically since like 2011. So
Yeah. He's right there. He's knocking on the door. So
hope he does it this season. I really do hope so.
imagine the 895th goal comes against the Rangers.
Please don't do that to me. Please. Oh God. Wouldn't surprise. I don't even. We
Let's
got to
look
look at.
back to this when that
Yeah, we
happens.
got to look at the schedule. So we go from the Caps to the division rival, another one for the Rangers, the Pittsburgh Penguins, and they have waived Tristan Jarry, and 31 NHL teams saw, oh, we can get Tristan Jarry for free, and said, nah, we're not that desperate.
Think he's making, correct me if I'm wrong, $5.825 million dollars is cap.
5.375
5.37.
in year two of a 5 year contract.
It's tough, right?
And he's
Uh,
not even 30 yet.
Again, it's the classic case of a goaltender that leads the team to success, in the regular season and the postseason that you signed because of that. But was it the best decision for the team at the time? Not sure. And for me, I think with Jari, and it's unfortunate, it's been some injury concerns. It's been a little bit of a lack of production. It's been some interesting decision making in key moments, especially in the playoffs. But sometimes your price tag just, you know, um, kind of takes over, what kind of player you are and what kind of value you have to the rest of the league. So I think that it's very telling that 31 teams decided not to go for Tristan Jarry, and he's now in Wilkes-Barre,
I,
the Penguins, in the AHL since he cleared waivers.
I always forget their AHL affiliate.
Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins.
This season, he's had 886 save percentage, 3.31 goals against in 22 appearances. That is no bueno.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's been a couple of years of that too. So um, it's unfortunate. Wish all the best to Tristan Jarry. It happens, and again, the Penguins defense is not necessarily one of the better corners in the league. So goaltending has to do a lot, take on a lot of burden, a lot of workload.
Yeah, I mean, like, so back in 2019-20, 921 save percentage in 33 games. Year after, 909 and 39. 21-22 is surprisingly good, 919 and 58. And like you said, slowly gotten worse, 909 and 47, 903 and 51, and then this season, 886 in 22. 8 playoff game appearances, not good. Not good.
Been tough, and again, that's the worst save percentage of his entire Penguin career, even worse than, albeit two starts, but he had an 887 save percentage in 2018-19 before he went back down to the AHL. So again, so far with Wilkes-Barre, 916 save percentage, 2.27 goals against average, 5-2 record. Maybe he turns it around. So
Who knows? But, the Penguins they've just been going down, and unlike Washington, they have not made the right moves to try and turn this around.
yeah, for the team, that's certainly the case. But for the player, in terms of Jari, right, I think many players, when they reach the ripe age of 30, it usually goes one direction or another, right?
Yeah.
They usually are able to maintain the production that they once had if they're a superstar, or it usually starts to tailor off just a little bit. And I think with the Penguins team tailoring off and the overall production of the roster year to year, I think the same thing kind of happened with Jari here. But for me, I'm happy that the player gets to remain in the organization. What a nice story it'll be if he works his way back up in Wilkes-Barre and gets another chance in Pittsburgh. So, um, again, tough season for the Penguins, but I think they made a tough call, but the right call with Jari, and I think he's handling it aplomb. So you have to tip your cap and say, hey, respect you for not getting pissed off and you know saying F you to the organization. And, you took your stint to the AHL at 29 years old and you're making the best of it. So I can have respect for that.
I hope he does turn it around, just so we can get back to the NHL and start shitting the bed again because I'm a Rangers fan.
Yeah. Well, I don't think the Penguins will be much to worry about in terms of contending over the next few years. So we'll see if Jari's a part of that or not.
Yeah, hey, we could possibly be talking about this as soon as the trade deadline, which isn't too far away anymore.
Yeah. Right there.
Yeah, but we're gonna dedicate a whole episode to that in the very near future. I always look forward to that one.
Oh, that'll be a fun one.
Yeah. Speaking of something that's not so fun though, I mean, we got to talk about him every episode. It's the fucking Rangers, dude.
Yeah.
I This team is just I don't think I've ever been so disinterested.
It's been a rough year.
Yeah,
Really has. I don't really know where they go.
neither do I, and that's really like the most fascinating part because well, I mean, we've talked about it in previous episodes. There were multiple problems on the team. They finally get rid of Truba, which solves one problem, and then there's still two extremely well, I mean, it's kind of become three, arguably four glaring issues still on the team. And Kreider, Zibanejad, Lindgren has his on ice play has just deteriorated, and possibly Miller. Putting him with Borgen has helped a little bit, but I don't know. I don't know if they want to keep him or try and or they're just trying to salvage his trade value. I don't know. I really don't.
There's a lot of things that we can talk about with our beloved New York Rangers, but hey, they've been playing some better hockey as of late. If you look at the wild
Slightly.
card things, they are within striking distance. A massive game in Boston coming up Saturday, I believe. So again, 4 points behind Boston, 3 points behind Tampa Bay. Overall, in terms of their play, I mean, I kind of got to agree with you, Shades. Like, I just haven't seen a lot of improvement. I mean, for me, the top guys, and again, I'm just going to be brutally honest here, and I love the New York Rangers, and I know you do too. And I know there's nothing more than that we want to see than Mika regain that five game goal form that he had against the Capitals a few years back, and
I don't think we're ever
Kreider's
going to see that again.
and but we want to see that, and even being critical, just do want to make that known. But for me, let's run through everything, shall we?
Sure.
The power play is just it's just nothing going on there, and then you just look at for me, it seems like Fox has lost something. It seems like that there's a step missing from Fox offensively. I think he's been fine defensively. I don't think he's ever been known for how he is on the defensive side. But offensively, there's just something missing. Is he playing hurt? I don't know. Panarin, same thing. He's just not.
Yeah, Panarin's just kind of been there.
Panarin's just kind of gotten lost in the fold, and that's never been the type of player that he is. Zibanejad's spot on power play one is not even consistent. He's been flip-flopped with Lafreniere by Coach Laviolette. Kreider's not even tipping pucks in front anymore. Trocheck doesn't have a spot. Um, Again, when this team does have chances to score goals, going back to even strength, you see that breakaway the other night for Trocheck, and he decides to drop it
Uh,
back for a defenseman and Keandre Miller. And, I want to know your thoughts on this before I continue on, Shades. I saw Trocheck take a peek, just a slightest peek in his peripheral at Keandre Miller at the red line. I was like, oh my gosh, he's passing this shit. He's passing it back. And you know what? If you think that's the best play in the moment, you think that's the best play in the moment. In my opinion, I would say in that situation, shoot the puck. Trocheck has been so good, so you can't really blame him. But again, like it's just those moments in the game where you just cannot afford to come up empty. And consistently, the Rangers really have done that. Like, what's your thoughts on that Trocheck play before I
so
continue?
initially I was watching, I was like, all right, good defensive play, breakaway, passes the
Yeah,
puck back, goes the other way, scores.
yeah,
And my dad was sitting right next to me. I just go, oh, we deserve that. We 100% deserve that. Said
yeah,
that word for word.
yeah. Defensively, I mean,
I
again,
ended up
Borg,
shutting the game off against Carolina with like 15 minutes left. I'm like, I'm not watching this crap.
yeah. And Carolina poured it on from there, but defensively, Borgen and Miller, we talked about it better. Again, Lindgren, I just don't know what his spot on this team is. He was Fox's pair mate, and again, they're just not playing together right now, and it's just seems like a little bit of an odd situation. The goaltending, Shesterkin, I think his play has kind of gotten back to what we've expected. What do you think?
I mean, I'm at the point where I've just come to
Can't
realize
blame
the fact.
Shesterkin. It's great
No,
ace.
not really. No. I've just gotten like I've come to just accept the fact that he's going to have an extremely inconsistent first half of the season and then turn it on. Albeit as frustrating as it is, I think that's just who he is as a player because we have multiple seasons of a track record at this point.
Yeah, and again, I don't think he's playing bad hockey. I think Jonathan Quick too. I mean, he continues to test the tail of time as his career goes on and on. Offensively, I mean, shades. I mean, really, could you have asked for anything worse, right? I mean, Filipino hasn't been able to stay healthy. He's healthy right now, and you cross your fingers. But again, like it's just been such a difficult situation with him and his ability to stay on the ice. So he's one situation, right? Will Cooley, your best forward this year, your top guy, your rising star. You put with Mika Zibanejad, and he has become invisible.
That's what
Mika,
happens when you put young players with Mika.
Mika, I try, but I'm just struggling to see that the player that he once was. It's now that I've been watching the Rangers more consistently, it's been evident that he's just not the same guy. I think Kreider goes as the Rangers go. I think if the Rangers are having success, Kreider is playing well. And I think if the team isn't playing well, Kreider isn't playing well as a result. And proof is in the pudding with that. Lafreniere taking a step back.
Ever
I mean,
since the extension.
yeah, if I had said Lafreniere would take a step back this year, that's disaster number one. Then Kako gets traded away and then has a ton of points in Seattle and has a lot of chemistry with Matty Beniers.
Yeah, that trade kind of killed the third line too.
For me, and again, you're right. You're right. It killed the third line. That was one of the best lines in hockey if you look at the underlying numbers.
Oh yeah.
And again, it was a move that I wouldn't say that Drury had to make, but I think that he just put himself into a corner and Laviolette put himself into a corner because they weren't going to play the kid. If you're not going to play the kid, then you have to give him a chance to play. And you know what? Luckily, as a Ranger fan, I'm happy that they found the right deal and that they were able to bring in Borgen. But it does not surprise me one iota that Capo Caco is blossoming right now. It really doesn't. And it wouldn't surprise me if the Rangers traded away any of their other top young forwards either.
Well, I mean, look at the top of their lineup. I mean, if you're gonna get moved up in the lineup to play with Mika Zibanejad, that's not helping anybody.
Brett Berard, yeah, you're right. Brett Berard was a spark plug for this team, and you send him down to Hartford. I just don't get it. I just don't understand. I
Honestly,
want
the
to.
lone positive of the team lately, the fourth line has come alive, and it's been like, oh, okay, this is nice to see.
Sam Carrick can play, and Edstrom and Rempe on the wings. I mean, that's awesome. That's a really fun line to watch. And imagine if we had Kako to go alongside Heedle and Cooley from that third line, because like we said, they were so productive, especially in those underlying ways. But for me, Shades, and you know this, watching this team in the playoffs for many, many years, it's never going away the Rangers want it to go if the top players don't step up and play like their top players. Last year, we got it. We saw Mika Zibanejad play well in the playoffs. We saw Panarin
Sort
have a couple
of.
goals. We saw Kreider there. That they were playing well. They were. They were producing. They just flat out ran into a much better team in the Florida Panthers in the Eastern Conference Final. And sometimes that happens. But for us, or for me, and I want to know your thoughts on this. I don't think that we're anywhere close to where we were. And I think that there's been a major shakeup by trading Truba and trading Kako. I think you need even more. I think you need to not in a rebuilding way, but I think you need to tear the house down. And I don't want to go after Laviolette. And I know I said this last episode, but again, sometimes you just look at seasons and you look at teams and you understand that they're going to go nowhere if they don't have some sort of jolt to the roster. So for me, if the Rangers don't get a big trade or if they don't get a coaching change, unfortunately, they're just going to be in the middle of the pack. Maybe they'll get a wild card spot, but even if they get in, it probably will be a short time in the postseason. So Chris Drury is at a major, major crossroads right now, today, because they're close. They're 3 points out of the playoffs. They're 4 points behind Boston. They have a one-on-one head-to-head meeting with Boston coming up on Saturday afternoon, but it's gut check time right now. This is not good enough. 24, 22, and 4, 50 games in. You were the President's Trophy winners last year. You're more than halfway through the season. Something's got to happen.
Funny thing is, watching them last year after winning the President's Trophy, I just kept asking myself, how the hell was this team the number one seed in the league? Because they were not playing like it.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
But
I could go on forever.
yeah, but no, to go back to something you said, I don't know if they've taken a step back. I feel like they've been playing the same way they've been playing the last 2 years. It's just that the problems that were there have just risen so far up to the surface that most people are finally seeing this team's true colors. I think that's what it is.
I think along those lines, Shades, I think every mistake that's made is amplified. And again, you look at, I'll give you a real life situation that explains that well. It's that Trocheck play again, right? Like breakaway,
Just shoot the
chance,
puck.
score a big goal, shoot the puck, sure. And you can't blame Trocheck for being unselfish, but again, you know,
When you have a breakaway, shoot the damn puck.
when you see players have opportunities like that throughout the league and they drop it back to a teammate, 9 times out of 10, your teammate doesn't get a shot off, never mind score the goal. So I think you should have that in the back of your mind as well. But again, that was a perfect encapsulation of what's going on with the Rangers. Trocheck drops it back, tries to be unselfish, tries to make the right play, turns it over. And like you said, Shades, like it didn't even take one more shift. It was one more shot, and the puck was in the back of the net. So I don't know. Look at the standings right now. The Islanders are 1 point behind us, and they have a game in hand. So
Great. That's just great. Ah, man, there's so many things wrong with this team. This is not a one season fix, unfortunately, because there so many problems that were existing just came right up to the forefront, and it's just like, oh, this is like it's really not a one season fix. This is a multiple move, multi-season fix, which sucks because we have Igor in his prime.
yeah,
I feel like I kept it nice today. I really did.
So did I. I feel like that was a good, cordial discussion of our beloved New York Rangers. But hey, they
Yeah.
have Boston and Vegas coming up, and they
Oh,
have
speaking
Boston.
of Vegas, shout out to Brendan. He is actually in Vegas, and he's going to be at it. We're currently recording Thursday, January 30th. It's 8:37 p.m. on the East Coast. He is going to be at the Knights and Blues game.
Blue Jackets.
Blue Jackets. I was close. But yeah, he got freaking ice level seats for or lower bowl seats for $100, and I'm just like, God damn, never at MSG.
Must must be nice.
Yeah, must be. I mean, but flying to Vegas and the hotel and shit, I mean, you're probably making it up there.
I'll be watching that game tonight. See if I can catch him.
Yeah, same. But yeah, and I love how we could have gotten so much further in depth. We're just so sick of talking about this. Like we talked about what we needed to talk about.
I mean, we pretty much summed it all up, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Where the Rangers are at right now.
Yeah, but speaking of something that's not football, the Jets have a new coach and GM, and
Yeah, hey,
yeah, and I'm ready to run through a brick wall for this fucking guy.
Aaron Glenn, let's do it.
We're the freaking New York Jets, and we're built
Yeah.
for this shit. I'm like, yeah, let's go, baby.
Yeah. You're damn right we're built for this shit. Damn right.
I also love his introductory press conference and the subsequent one with the reporters all surrounding him. Fucking love that shit. He basically told Samini to fuck off, and I'm just like, this is what we needed.
The NFL head coach's carousel has been really interesting. Did you see the Jacksonville head coach, the Duval?
Duval. I haven't seen one single second of that press conference outside of that clip.
Yeah, yeah, just went absolutely viral. But he seems like a really chill dude. So I'm saying hello to the Jaguars players.
At least it's not Adam Gase.
Um, oh my God. Hey, hey, he's just a little bit camera shy, you know?
Oh my God. If I
All right,
want
all right. Before we end this episode, I want to do my own Duval.
I
I'm
want
not
those 2 seasons back.
I'm not a Jaguars fan. I've never done this. Duval. Like that? Are you supposed to do it?
I have no clue.
Oh no. You
I
don't
have
know?
no fucking clue.
Okay. Roast my Duval, guys. Go for it.
Here's my impression.
Jaguars head coach here.
Duval.
Not like that. Not like that.
I'm just
Not like,
impersonating Liam Cohen.
yeah, yeah. They asked him to do it again and like during an interview today. And I wish he had doubled down. He didn't. He had clearly done some mirror work and gotten it down right. So good luck to him and Aaron Glenn.
We talked about Mikko Rantanen, right?
We did not.
Holy fuck.
Wow.
How the fuck did I? All right, we're going back here.
We talked about Aaron Glenn
Holy
and Liam
shit.
Cohen for MIKKO RANTANEN trade.
All right. Yeah, so this is gonna look a little weird on video because I'm gonna edit this properly or in
I think
correct
we should
order,
keep it in.
sort of. I mean, no, it's definitely gonna be kept in, but yeah, all right. So yeah, Mikko Rantanen got traded to the Carolina Hurricanes. How the fuck did we not mention that yet?
Crazy. You save the best for last sometimes, right?
This is true. But yeah, Mikko Rantanen is officially on the Carolina Hurricanes. Kind of a blockbuster trade because it's fucking Mikko Rantanen. It involved 3 trades. It involved 3 trades. Technically, it did involve 3 trades, but it also involved 3 teams and three, well, 2 pretty notable players alongside a third player who's not too bad in himself. But to keep this as short as possible, because I could go through everything and I'm not going to. In the end, the Carolina Hurricanes come away with Mikko Rantanen and former first overall pick Taylor Hall. The Colorado Avalanche come away with Marty Necas, Jack Drury, a 2025 second, a 2026 fourth, both from Carolina, and the Blackhawks, because of course there's a third team involved in this trade, for fucking salary cap retention. Come away with a 2025 third round pick and 50% of Mikko Rantanen's salary. Colorado just they're not afraid to make big moves, but I'll get back to them in 1 second. The fucking Blackhawks have to take on half of Mikko Rantanen's cap hit, and they give away Taylor Hall, and all they get is a fucking 2025 third. The fuck is wrong with them?
Ready for my thoughts? Ready for my hot take?
Hell yeah. Hit me.
This was a fucking steal for the Avs. I'll tell you. What a steal. What an absolute steal. Marty Necas is going to be a stud in Colorado. Guess what? When you have one of the top three players in the world on your team, whoever you put next to him, even if they don't have a lot of raw skill, luckily Marty Necas and Mikko Rantanen do, they are going to produce points. Okay? Mikko Rantanen was going to get paid 14 north of $14 million as an unrestricted free agent at the end of the season. You're not going to pay him more than Nathan MacKinnon. You're not going to cap string, you're not going to cap string yourself if you're the Colorado Avalanche when you have Cale Makar to sign as well.
Yeah,
So,
they did not want to become the Toronto Maple Leafs.
and they were very thin at the center position. So now you add two in Marty Necas and Jack Drury, who's a pretty good young center in his own right. I think Carolina makes this worth it by bringing in Rantanen again. Here's my thing with Carolina, right? They bring in Taylor Hall. I love it. You get two big time offensive players. They did this with Jake Gensel. They did this with Gensel, and they lost him. And you know what? Can Carolina re-sign Mikko Rantanen? And if they do not win the Stanley Cup and they do not sign Mikko Rantanen, my oh my. And for Colorado, they've set themselves up for years. I think we are going to look back at this trade in a few years and say, what a steal for the Avs. Steal.
I
Steal the
honestly
trade.
think this is pretty good for both teams. I'm not really in the this team won in a landslide favor. I also find it funny how the third round pick that Chicago got was their own pick back. You got to love three team trades,
And
but
Chicago, if you're trying, if you have the cap space and you're not competing, why not?
why not?
Why not get a
Yeah,
pick?
why not? But I mean, dude, in the end, I mean, the Hurricanes get Rantanen and Taylor Hall, who can still play, and
Yeah.
the Avs get Nate just having a career year, a very good lower lineup player in Jack Drury, and two draft picks. I mean, it's not bad for both teams. And also, the even crazier thing, between Mikko Rantanen, Taylor Hall, and Jake Gensel, this is within the last calendar year. Carolina's given up zero first round picks and none of their top four prospects, according to a lot of people. Has it
Yeah.
cost them roster players? Yes, but they haven't touched their prospect pool, which that's pretty good GMing, if I do say so myself.
Yeah. I mean, Jack Drury is going to be a very good NHL player. And, Marty Necas, I would even go as far as to say he could be, I know he's fallen off a little bit, but again, he's 26 years old. He could be a 90-point guy, like in this league. Like he could be a Mikko Rantanen type player,
That is high
like
praise.
26, former first round pick, had 71 points in 82 games within the 2022-23 season. Again, I don't really think I love the fit in Carolina with Necas. Again, 55 points in 49 games last year. He had a little bit of a struggle in the 23-24 season, but this season so far with Colorado, 4 games, 3 assists. For me, Jack Drury, he's a former first round pick as well, I believe. Second round pick by the Hurricanes. Again, just gives Colorado center depth, which is valuable in this league. So I'm a big fan of the trade for the Avs. I think Carolina did well here, but I think that there is a big risk attached in that they must re-sign Mikko Rantanen. And they have not shown me in the last few years when they make big trade deadline acquisitions that they're able to do just that. So sign Rantanen and I'll praise the hell out of you. But until you do that and until you win a Stanley Cup, I'm going to keep my lips shut.
Well, here's the thing about that. Gensel, I mean, they tried. He just didn't want to resign there. Gensel flat out said, if you give me 9 million a year, I'll resign. They called his bluff, and he's just like, oh, I didn't actually mean that.
Gensel didn't want to sign there, then And
He
who
didn't want
knows
to stay.
and who knows if Rantanen will want to stay? Like
Hey, you never know. So
true.
I've also heard Chicago being in the market come the off season because they have the cap space to sign him.
Yeah, 100% play alongside Bedard, right?
Hey, I mean, you never know. Crazy shits happen. But one thing with Rantanen, apparently he was caught completely off guard by the trade, and apparently he talked to a Finnish newspaper and said that he was very much willing to sign well under market value, and they still got rid of him. So I'm just like, which side's telling the truth here? That's what I want to know.
Could be a little bit of both. Never know.
Could be. And here's the crazy stat I was telling you about, which you might have seen this. Shout out Sportsnet Stats on Twitter. This deal is the first trade involving two players averaging over a point per game this late into a season since 1991 when Ron Francis was dealt from Hartford to Pittsburgh for John Cullen. Pretty
Hmm.
cool.
Interesting. Nice stat.
And in the long run, this actually kind of helps both teams for the rest of the season gear up for a playoff run because Rantanen, I mean, it didn't look like there were any signs of him re-signing from information that was out there. Hall is probably going to hit restricted free agency anyway. I mean, they're loading up again, good players, and then the Avs are getting younger with this helps them now and in the future too. Yet another move, just great GMing. So, man, this playoffs are going to be fun.
Yeah, they are. I'm excited to see how it all works out for both teams.
Same. And what And last but not least, since we didn't mention this earlier in the episode either, Brandon Saad placed on waivers. He still had a year to go left on his contract in St. Louis. I mean, he's had a fall off since leaving Chicago, but I mean, two Stanley Cups in your first three full years in the league, not too bad.
Yeah, not bad at all. Good forward. Wish them all the best.
Same, same. Okay, now we talked about everything.
There you go.
Yeah, I can't believe I did that.
I forgot too. I didn't even
I
remember.
love how
Oh,
I literally had all of the tabs open on
yeah.
Safari with Puckpedia and all the players, and I just X'd all of them out. And I'm just like, wait a minute, we didn't talk about that. I'm like, fuck.
I was thinking to myself, I was like, did we forget something?
Yeah, that's what I get for not leading off with that. Oh well. But
Yeah. Oh well.
yeah, but Aaron Glenn, baby. Let's go, Jets.
Yep. Yep.
Oh, who you got in the Super Bowl? Because we're not recording until after that.
Super Bowl.
Who you got?
Give me a boring Super Bowl. Give me a Chiefs 31-10.
I want both teams to lose. I don't want either team to win, but that's not humanly possible.
I can't, as a New Yorker, root for Philadelphia.
Same. And I just don't like the Chiefs because they're the darlings of the league that get every single thing in their favor, and I'm over it. So, and also the Eagles have two failed Jets draft picks, so I'm not rooting for them either. So I will be watching, begrudgingly, but I will be watching, and whatever happens, happens.
Who do you got?
I think the Chiefs are going to three-peat.
I think the Chiefs are going to three-peat.
Yeah, I think so. Am I going to be happy about it? No. But am I going to be happy about the Eagles winning? Fuck no. I hate Philly sports teams.
Yeah. Rest in peace to that guy though that fell off that pole in Philly.
Yeah, yeah. I,
And all those people who passed away in that plane crash.
yeah, yeah,
Have to
that too.
have to bring it up. Rest in peace. I mean, that is just horrible.
Yeah,
Uh,
very
yeah.
sad and unfortunate situation. But my condolences to every family involved in those incidences. But this has been the very nice episode number 69 of Pucks and
I'm
Brews.
sorry that I really killed the mood there. I'm
You're good.
sorry.
You're good, but it had to be said. I I, I
Just
hope both
just
teams
just
lose the
just
Super Bowl.
recent current events, right? You
Yeah.
need to.
I hope both teams lose in the Super Bowl. It's not going to happen though, and I'm going to be mad about something.
Do you think Roger Goodell would make that happen? You know,
What's the movie clip that's been going around where the stadium basically just gets nuked and then there's one guy just alone in the end zone? Like, what the hell happened? Uh, yeah. I don't want that to happen, but
hey, Jalen Hurts and Patrick Mahomes, they earned their way to the Super Bowls. We forgot.
yeah, I hate both teams. Screw them. Jets are
Do you
coming back in 2026, baby.
think the Bills got screwed? Last question for everybody before we let them go.
They had their chances. And also, how Josh Allen didn't get intercepted on that first drive
Very
twice.
close. Very
Yeah,
close.
yeah,
Yeah.
no. As one of the Jet YouTubers I follow says, suck it, Buffalo.
Boy Green? No.
Actually, no, Jake Asman.
Do you follow Boy Green now?
I don't follow him, but I do know about him. Good dude. Good dude.
He went to my college. He
Oh, get out. Did he really?
spoke to my class once. Yeah.
Nice.
My broadcasting class. He was like, yeah, you can do this, you can get involved. And look at me and you doing a podcast talking about the Jets on a hockey show. Unbelievable.
Yeah. Good. Well, I mean, hey, we're Jets fans too, and it's my podcast. I can do whatever the hell I want.
Episode 69, Pucks and Brews.
Episode number 69 of Pucks and Brews. Very nice. Please, as I forget to mention pretty much every episode, give the video or the podcast, whatever platform you're listening on, a like. Comment if you feel like it. Uh, Hit that subscribe button, especially on YouTube, please. Helps us out a lot. Follow us if you want on our socials listed in the description below. And yeah, we'll be back after the Super Bowl because I'll probably have a rant about something that happened during that game.
Fun fact
Hit
before
me.
we let everybody go. On episode 69 of Pucks and Brews, no New York Ranger has ever worn the number 69. There's your fun fact from Liam the Shellmaster Godimer for Shades, and I let you go.
Liam gave himself an outro. I've been your host, Michael Shade Sparacino. We will see you after the Super Bowl, even though this is a hockey podcast. So, adios, everyone.